the Golden Globe Awards, the 82nd annual Golden Globe Awards that just took place. When was that? Not too long ago. It's award season, so it seems to be that time of the year. We're gonna get Golden Globes, we're gonna get the Grammys, you're gonna get the Oscars all here pretty soon. But the Golden Globes is kind of one that kicks things off. It is not necessarily as well respected as say the Oscars, but in terms of TV and like these other kind of alternative voices to what is popular and creative, it seems to have been getting much more traction in terms of like, its position of importance within the industry and film and whatnot. And like, it is dope to see. It was actually a pretty cool show this year. I saw clips and little snippets of it. And it seems to have been done a pretty good job in terms of like awards and shows and movies getting, their just due. Obviously, there's always been some controversy with, the Golden Globes over the years, but that is the case for all award shows. Recently, it's been about The Bear winning, best comedy when it is not a shadow comedy for multiple times. But again, controversy just goes hands in hand with award shows. It's kind of also how you promote something as big as like the Golden Globes. But again, this year's 82nd Golden Globe Awards just happened, and I want to, discuss it and see kind of what they came up with and see who won. First of all, I want to see some of the winners because I did not see everybody who won. First up, we got here we go. Best Motion Picture of a Drama. The winner was The Brutalist, featuring Adrian Brody. I believe it just came out. I have not seen it yet, which is but it seems to be like a almost 3-hour epic shot on film in the traditional manner, like a big capital F film, capital C cinema, like one of those type art house, but like on a gigantic scale type film. It's one that seems to be, an awards favorite, and I would not be surprised to see it win at the Oscars. Adrian Brody, is a phenomenal actor. I think that he's started to get more recognition in recent years for his abilities as an actual actor. So I'm not really surprised to see The Brutalist kind of getting those awards. It was clear awards bait when I first saw the trailer for it. So I'm not surprised to see it win, but I haven't seen many of these. September 5th, I haven't seen Nickel Boys. I haven't seen Dune Part 2, which being, I guess, categorized as a drama seems to be kind of interesting take. Like, it is dramatic, but it's also action and sci-fi. You don't really see sci-fi being categorized as drama. It's just kind of weird to see it in this category. But, The Brutalist to win over Dune Part 2, again, not surprised. It was like perfect awards bait. But Dune Part 2 out of all of these is definitely my absolute favorite. I think A Complete Unknown is the Bob Dylan movie, if I'm correct. Let me know. Best Motion Picture for a Musical or Comedy. Wow. The fact that The Substance did not win is kind of surprising, or The Wicked. Okay, the fact that The Substance or Wicked did not win this category is kind of surprising because Wicked was easily probably the biggest movie of the year. People had weird rave reviews. It broke kind of box office records when I saw it when it came out, and a lot of people saw it, including myself. And I'm not a fan of musicals in general, but I have to say that one was pretty fire. So to see Wicked lose is kind of surprising. Also to see Substance lose is also surprising because it is kind of like the indie darling from this year. There's always one kind of indie film that breaks through like Everything Everywhere All at Once, that becomes a widespread mainstream hit that people talk about so much that you just have to see. And it's one of those movies that kind of broke through to the cultural mainstream, and for good reason. And the fact that that one didn't win either, but Amelia Perez won, which I didn't see, kind of wild. I might have to watch that one then. Anora didn't win. Another indie favorite that I might win. Like, okay, this was kind of a stacked category. A Real Pain, Anora, Challengers. Yeah, it's just a very stacked category, and I'm going to watch some of these. I've seen Wicked and Substance. Those are actually fire movies, and see those two not win is kind of surprising. Okay, Amelia Perez. Best Motion Picture was Flow. I don't think. Wait, animated. Over. Wait, Flow. What is Flow? All right, here's the category from animated: Wallace and Gromit, Wild Robot, Moana 2, Memoir of Snell, Inside Out 2, and Flow. I've never heard of Flow, but the fact that it won over Inside Out 2, which honestly was one of the best animated films that I've seen in quite a while, and I'm not even a huge fan of Inside Out 1, but I think just the storytelling, the pacing, the world building, everything that they were able to create in Inside Out 2 surpassed and like transcended anything of it just being an animated film. But I think it is just one of the best films in general from this year. To see that lose to Flow is kind of crazy. I don't even know what Flow is. What is Flow? It's almost got like video game kind of graphics, if you know what I'm saying, where it's like intentionally kind of artistic, but it clearly looks like some CGI video game kind of quality. It also reminds me of that video game, what was that cat video game? Stray. It kind of gives me a vibes of Stray, where it's like you're following this cat, or you're playing as this cat who goes on this like kind of solo adventure through this world, and it seems to be kind of the same sort of premise, kind of. Animation is very weird and kind of off-putting. Like, it feels almost cheap, but almost intentionally cheap. Like PS3 type kind of quality graphics, like very, you know what the graphics really remind me of that video game. What's the name? It's from the company that made Shadow Colossus. Team Ico. Game was that? It was The Last Guardian. That's what it reminds me of. The graphics remind me of like The Last Guardian, where like there are fairly impressive, especially for that time period, but it also has like this kind of blurry clay, almost jagged, not jagged, but clay kind of blurry quality to it that isn't quite as sharp as you would expect, especially for something from a movie. It's a very weird kind of style, interesting style, but like kind of weird and a little off-putting. I can't lie. Definitely got that Team Ico kind of aesthetic, graphic sensibility, even storytelling, because a lot of their games are very much silent, and they do a lot of world building and let the world kind of narrate the story as you find along. And this clearly seems to be like no kind of, not silent, but no kind of speaking, no kind of talking. Like, it's strictly through this storytelling of the world and following this cat on a solitary kind of journey. Very much similar to like a Team Ico kind of feel to it, if you know what I'm talking about, if you are a gamer. But like, to see this win over a movie as big as Inside Out 2, kind of surprising, because Inside Out 2 was a banger. I can't even lie. And I was not a huge fan of the first one, but Inside Out 2 was a banger. And to see that win over Flow, surprising. It's very surprising, because I literally saw people crying during Inside Out 2. But all right. A non-English language movie. Again, I haven't seen any of these, but Amelia Perez winning. The fact that it won best comedy or musical, and to see it win here is not surprising. I might have to watch that because Zoe Saldana is in there and she's fire. Best performance by female actor in a motion picture drama. Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here. Angelina Jolie was up for Maria, which I didn't see. Kate Winslet was in Lead. Nicole Kidman and Baby Girl, which was one actually I thought that she might steal because it's been getting a lot of praise. It's like kind of her big return as a lead in a movie, and it's been in A24 at the helm too, so it seemed like a shoe-in for some type of awards, but she didn't win here at Golden Globes. Pamela Anderson, Last Showgirl, I haven't seen. Tillis won the next. All right, it's kind of the usuals. Best performance by male actor in a motion picture and drama. Again, the fact that The Brutalist won, and I'm not really surprised because Adrian Brody seemed to be like pulling some heavy acting work on this film. Like he seemed to have been like, this is like kind of a magnum opus kind of film, one that people are going to be discussing when they talk about his career and look back at the movies that he's done. It seems to be one that's going to like stand out the most, and it seemed to be one that like really allowed him to show his acting chops at its highest. And again, it was a movie that was clearly awards bait. It's a movie that Hollywood would love because it's in the truest form of like the golden era of Hollywood, and they love awarding themselves awards. So I'm not really surprised to see Brutalist getting all this love, but dope to see because I think Adrian Brody is super underrated. But Coleman Domingo was up there. Actually, I was actually hoping that he won this category because I did see Sing Sing, and I do think this was kind of a breakthrough role for him in terms of like being a lead actor and showing that he's got the chops and showing that he has been very underappreciated in his career, and hopefully he gets a lot bigger roles from this. But he was the one I wanted to win, but he didn't. Daniel Craig for Queer, which again I thought he might win because he was definitely showing a very different side of him, much more vulnerable, much more intimate. Like it's as far from 007 as you can be, and to show that kind of range is impressive. And I thought that he also might be issuing for this one, but he did not get it. Phineas, how do you say his last name? Phineas, whatever. Conclave, Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice, and Timothée Chalamet for A Complete Unknown, which seems the movie itself has seemed to be getting kind of mixed reviews, so I'm not surprised by that. Best performance by female actor in motion picture. Okay. Demi Moore for The Substance. This is one that I literally thought was probably going to go to her because The Substance is a crazy movie. It's kind of dope to see because Demi Moore has been such an iconic and a standard in Hollywood for so long. Not so much in the latter part of her career, but she's somebody that, you know, she has had such recognition and success in terms of film, but not critical success necessarily. She's not gotten her flowers. She's not gotten a ton of awards, if she's gotten any of the major awards. So to see her finally get like this major award is kind of dope to see. It feels kind of like the same way that what's her name, Jamie, who won that one? Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis, when she got started to get her flowers, I think it goes for Everything Everywhere All at Once. So it kind of feels like that full circle moment. Like, yeah, you've been such a kind of staple in Hollywood for so long. You put in the work and like you're finally getting your recognition as a true actor. It kind of feels like the same moment as like a Jamie Lee Curtis getting her flowers. And like I wouldn't be surprised to see Demi Moore also kind of walk away with something at the Oscars. Cynthia Erivo, Wicked. I thought she might have a chance because she was killer in that role as well. I thought she might have a chance. Amy Adams for Night Bitch, Carla Sofia Gascon for Amelia Perez, Mikey Madison for Honora, which again I thought she might have a shot as well because that is a movie that people were really, really kind of uplifting and talking about as being one of the sleeper hits from this year. Sebastian Stan had a hell of a year. Between The Apprentice and A Different Man, he's had a hell of a year in terms of like really kind of stretching himself as an actor and showing off his true chops outside of like Marvel. Most people obviously know him as Bucky Barnes and the Winter Soldier from Captain America and Marvel, but like he went on a very decisive route to show that he is capable as an actor. And he had two really big movies, and like to see him kind of get his flowers is dope to see, because I do think he's a really good actor. He won Best Performance by an Actor in a Musical or Comedy for A Different Man, which, if you have not seen yet, see it is very intense. It's very wild. It's very much an A24 type film, and if you are a fan of that kind of studio and their productions, this one you should check out. Jesse Plemons over Kind of Kindness, Jesse Eisenberg for Real Pain, Hugh Grant for Airtake, Glenn Powell for Hitman, and some heavy hitters. But I'm not mad to see Sebastian Stan get that. Female actor in a supporting role. Best for she was supporting, I guess. Zoe Saldana and Amelia Perez. Again, very dope to see her getting this award. I thought Margaret Qualley would have got that for The Substance, because again, that is such a beloved film from this year, or maybe even Ariana Grande. But I'm not mad to see Zoe Saldana getting her flowers again. Much like Sebastian Stan, she's kind of really stretched herself, really tried to prove that she's an actor. Like, she's got the chops, like she's got the ability, like she put the work in. Very much different than Marvel in her role as like a Gamora, very much different than her role in Avatar. And for her to kind of come out and get her flowers is dope. It's a very dope moment to see. She's fire. I mean, if you really look at her career, it's been fucking impressive. Like, she doesn't get her critical, I say, respect or not acknowledgement, but for her to have been an Avatar and Marvel and then do all these other movies, like, gonna like really give her flowers, because it's impressive. Kieran Culkin 101 is dope, because I think he's also kind of started to show himself as an actor and like show that he's how capable he is, and he's really starting to get his flowers, obviously from Succession being the first kind of really like eye-opening moments of him and about him as an actor. But to see him kind of popping up in movies now is dope. I thought Denzel might get it, but not mad at Kieran getting it. Best Director, Brady Corbett for The Brutalist. Again, not surprised. I think he filmed it on film. It's like almost 3-hour epic. It was a grueling shoot. It's the type of film that Hollywood loves. Not surprised. Let's get to some TV. Here we go. Best television series, Shogun. Not surprised. Shogun, easily one of my most favorite movies or favorite shows and series to have come out in recent time. I think everything from the way the cinematography, the acting, the world building, the story, the pacing, everything is just on point. Like, you really feel like you are pulled into that time period of Japan. And the fact that it's a FX series just proves just how fire of a studio they truly are. So I'm not mad at that one. I'm glad they won. Shogun, only one I would have not been mad at winning else, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but Shogun by far one of the best shows to have come out. And if you have not seen it, you definitely need to go watch that. The Bear didn't win this one. Very surprised for best new comedy, or not comedy, not new, but best comedy or musical. Very controversial. The Bear is the comedy category. A lot of people have issues with that. I don't, but to see The Bear or Elementary lose is kind of surprising, because they basically going tit for tat, back and forth. They've been the darlings in terms of like comedy series, but like Hacks, never heard of it. Okay. Anna Sawai? I don't know how you say her name. She's fire, Shogun. So I'm very happy to see that she got that, because again, best show out there, best acting. Not mad at that. Hiroki Sanada, come on, man. About time he got his praise. This man has been putting in work, and like Shogun was the perfect platform, perfect kind of show for him to really show everything that he's capable of. And I'm very happy to see that he won, because that man is fire in that show. Easily the best show out there, and I'm not really surprised to see it kind of sweeping things. Jeremy Allen White, okay, not surprised. Gene Smart winning is dope. Never saw True Detective. There we go. Best performance by Mouth limited series. The Penguin. Easily win. Easy choice. Easy win. Because I think The Penguin is one of the best, again, best series, best shows to come out there. Yes, it is a Batman kind of character type series, but they don't like delve too far into it. It's very much, if you took away Batman and the whole world of that, like it would stand on its own. Very much in line with like a Sopranos or a show of that ilk. If you are like a fan of Colin Farrell and you didn't know that he was in The Penguin, like didn't know he was a Penguin, you probably wouldn't have guessed it. That's how much he transforms. Like he fully transforms for that role. So it's dope to see somebody like that getting love for that role, because that's fire. And yeah, not mad at that. All right, let's see what else. A long time. Like I remember my very first memory of Demi Moore was probably like around 9 or 10 years old, watching G.I. Jane for the first time, and like literally being mesmerized and blown away by that film and like her role, and like thinking like, damn, this shit is absolutely fire. And like I still remember to this day her cutting her hair. That's how vivid it was. And like to see her all these years later finally getting her love and appreciation again in Flowers is dope to see. Definitely feels like her kind of Jamie Lee Curtis moment. Same shit they said to Jamie Lee Curtis, like, you are doing horror films, you're doing all this character work, you're not an actor, you're not an actor. Prove them wrong. Fire. Definitely again, definitely her full circle Jamie Lee Curtis moment, like putting a capstone to her career. If she never acted again, I'm sure she'd be very satisfied with how things ended. The Substance was easily one of the best films to come out. Definitely one of the most inventive, creative, like she said, batshit wild ones. If you have not seen it, you definitely need to go watch it. People who say like the film industry is dead, film is dead, people aren't putting out good shit. No, big studios aren't putting out good shit, original shit. Indie studios, medium, small studios are still putting out absolute fire. You just need to support it. And The Substance is absolute proof of that. So like doing more to kind of get that love is dope to see. Colin Farrell winning his best male actor for The Penguin. Yeah, the makeup in The Penguin's crazy. Like the fact that he can transform as well as he did, somebody who was like kind of iconic, who has been in our face for as long as Colin Farrell has, you really get lost in the fact that he's a Penguin, because the makeup on that show, his outfit, his costume, his voice, everything that he does to kind of transform into that character is insane. Imagine the Shadow Craft Service, they definitely do not get any love and respect for, the very crucial role that they play on sets. Like he said, it takes a whole village, and like a show as big and as kind of highly produced as a Penguin to keep that shit going. Like I'm sure it takes a lot. Let's watch Hiroyuki Sanada winning for Shogun. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know he spoke English as well, but he is clear as day. Again, a well-deserved award for that man who has played countless side characters, supporting roles throughout the year, especially in terms of like American films, who's never really gotten his true love and appreciation. But like, honestly, the fact that he did not win for his role in like The Last Samurai is kind of a travesty, because he's easily the highlight of that film to me. But him getting this love here in Shogun, well deserved, because one of the best shows I've ever seen. Fire. Another winner from that show is, let's see if I can do it, Tadanobu Asano for Best Supporting Actor.
Wow. So maybe,
who again was an absolute highlight of this show, who played the perfect counterpoint to Sonata. That's kind of crazy. Get their award, fly all the way back to Japan, which I'm assuming where they're filming. I'm not really sure, but like, it don't matter because Shogun, I need that next season ASAP because that should be hitting too much. It kind of reminds me of the moment when Short Round, what's his name? Kehu, how do you say his name? Quan. I'm just gonna say Quan. Finally got his award at the Oscars for his role in Everything Everywhere All at Once, and like the absolute joy that he brought to that stage, and like it really brought full circle why award shows still matter. I know a lot of people kind of shit on award shows like they don't matter anymore, but to see people like that get the recognition and the love for the absolute hard work that they put in, especially when they don't think it's gonna get the recognition or the appreciation as others, and like to them to finally get that moment on the stage and to see the absolute joy it brings to their faces, it just stamps why award shows and awards still matter, especially ones as prestigious as this, because you do want to be recognized for the absolute work and that you put in. You do want to see that your peers love what you're doing. You do want to see that what you're doing matters. So like to see him have this absolute joy of getting this award when he's probably not expecting anything from this is dope. And it's even doper when it comes from someone who's like out of the country, who's not from the US, who's not from England, who's not like in the industry in a typical manner. And to see them finally get their recognition and break through, it's like, that's got to be one of the best feelings ever. And it's very dope to see. And I'm glad that's one of the best parts of award shows, when somebody like that gets an award. And it just shows why these things still do matter. Let's go to Sebastian Stan. He won. And his win for, I'm not sure which one. Let's see. Again, if you haven't seen Different Man, you have to see it. Obviously, one of the characters that he's portraying is alongside this guy who has this disability, changes his face. It's very like poignant kind of filmmaking and storytelling. It's like a very real thing, and the real actor that he plays alongside. And it's one that you should definitely go watch if you haven't seen A Different Man. This is why he's like having this speech about disability and why representation matters and why our opinions and thoughts and like the way we treat people with disabilities needs to change and be for the better. Fire speech. Dope to see. Sebastian Stan, super underrated. Glad to see him getting his flowers. I mean, this whole Golden Globe so far, it's been a lot of people getting their flowers, and I love to see that. That's something that doesn't always happen as award shows, especially like the Oscars. But Golden Globe seems to be more of a place for these people to get flowered and loves and stuff. And like to see Sebastian Stan, who's been an actor for a long time, who's had big roles, obviously, in movies like Marvel and whatnot, but has the chops to act with anybody, and he's been showing it this year and last year. And like the fact that he's getting it, not one, but two, Disney, Marvel, that price has gone up for sure. Let's go to Kieran Culkin. Like he's literally like his character in Succession. Like that wasn't just a character. Like he is him. Every time you hear him in an interview or a video or whatever, he is that person. And you love to see it because that's the reason why people love him in the first place. He's just very much himself. Jesse Eisenberg, known for very certain characters, like he's proving and showing that like he's got other chops. He wrote a movie, like a movie that is fire. Like these actors are actually putting in work. If you go outside of the Hollywood staples, go outside of big studios, there are people putting in absolutely fantastic films and work. I mean, again, fire to see him go from Kevin's little brother or cousin, whatever, from Home Alone, who's literally Macaulay Culkin's actual brother, to getting his praise and recognition of his own in his own right later on in his career as an adult is dope to see. Very dope to see. Last one. Yeah, last actor. We're gonna do Zoe Saldana. Hey man, these Marvel actors having a night, man. Sebastian Stan now, Zoe Saldana, who is also, very well known for her role in Marvel as, Gamora, who was known for her role in Avatar, who was somebody that would have called like a popcorn type actor and somebody who necessarily wouldn't get the big awards, recognitions for, the things they do on screen. So like, this is why it seems to be like such a big moment for her, because she was kind of very much stuck in that role. Like, she's been in movies that have had a ton of success. Yes, she's had very iconic roles, very iconic performances, but nothing that you would necessarily say like, damn, she's one of the best actors out there. So for her to like really stretch herself and put herself out there in these new films and these new directions and like get awarded for it is exactly what you're seeing, this kind of reaction that she's getting. All right, you're getting played off. You gotta time that better. But I mean, it's fire. It's fire. She definitely got her flowers, her recognition as a true actor. Kind of like something that people might play off and be like, I know I'm happy with my career, I've had success, but like, they want those flowers, they want those accolades, they want the recognition for the work that they're putting in, and to see her getting that is dope. Again, Marvel, those prices is going up. All right, Shogun won for best series. Show on watch. Easily the best show from last year, hands down. One of the best shows that I've probably ever seen. Like, and I cannot wait for the new season because that shit is fire. If you have not seen Shogun, go watch that shit right now. Easily the best show that has come out in recent period. The last thing I wanted to watch was Nikki Glacier's kind of opening monologue. She's had a hell of a. Let's keep plugging. Can you hear me? She's had a hell of a year. Ever since, was it the one? Yeah, ever since kind of the Tom Brady roast really like took her to another level on another platform, she has been on fire. She's not somebody that I've necessarily listened to in stand-up wise or comedy skits, but I know that she's been around in the comedy circles for quite a long time. She's been on a lot of podcasts. She's put in a lot of work, and like to see her kind of get this recognition in and positioning is dope to see, because she's been around for a while, and from what I hear, she killed it. So let's check this out. All right. It's pretty good so far. Hold space for television. Even though, let's be real, television's been putting out more bangers than film recently. That's just a fact. Bruh. Yeah, now Ben Affleck catching the absolute stray from left field. God damn. That's underrated. That's underrated burn right there. That is an absolute underrated burn. You could just see like all the actors nervous as shit every time she calls out their name. Like, what is she about to say about me? She's about to fry me up. And it should rightfully so, because honestly, she's taking the mantle as one of the best roasters out there these days. Like, she's obviously done a lot of roasts through the whole Comedy Central roast series, but like, she really got them shook right now. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if Denzel was actually at the Golden Globes, I'll be honest with you. Otherwise, they would have definitely cut to him. I'm not sure if he was even there. I mean, that's kind of a fact, bro. That was a good one.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man. God damn.
I ain't gonna lie, she got a fire, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. She killed this shit, bro. I would not be surprised to see her get a lot more of these opportunities. She deserves her flowers.
God damn.
Hey, she kind of brutal, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. He's spazzing on him. Come on, bro. You know he's gonna get it. There's no shot he not getting off this scot free. She ain't lying though. Nah, she got that. She killed that shit. I ain't gonna lie. She's had a hell of a year. Culminated with, you know, a very prestigious role of hosting one of the big award shows, you know, as a comedian, typically is reserved for like the biggest comedians out there. And the fact that she got this is proof that her star is definitely rising. And she deserved it because she actually murdered that shit. But yeah, that's it for the Golden Globes. Very interesting year. I think it was a year of like very, very varied films and TV shows. I think The Right Things won. I think people got their recognition and their flowers to a degree that you don't always see. And like, I think this one of the better years for the awards. And I'm very interested to see kind of how Oscars follows up because they never truly are aligned in terms of what wins and whatnot. So, but what are some of your biggest surprises from the awards show? What do you think about the winners, nominees? What do you think of Nikki Glaser?